In the dynamic world of love and hip-hop, Atlanta, the boundary between reality and drama often becomes indistinct. The show has gained a reputation for its chaotic relationships, betrayals, and intense confrontations. However, for Kirk Frost, there was one particular moment that would alter everything in ways he never could have anticipated. It would compel him to confront his past, acknowledge his missteps, and face a situation that had the potential to unravel everything he had worked so hard to build, especially with his wife, Rashida. Tensions between Kirk and Rashida had been mounting for quite some time. Their marriage, once a symbol of love and unity, had been put to the test by endless rumors, misunderstandings, and, most significantly, Kirk's past indiscretions. Though Rashida had always carried herself with poise, she was no stranger to the murmurs and allegations surrounding Kirk's infidelity. They had managed to keep their relationship intact, but its foundation remained fragile. They had weathered so much together, yet there was one thing Rashida had never fully grasped: the truth about Kirk's history with Jasmine Washington, a woman who had once played a significant role in his life. That revelation loomed like a storm cloud on the horizon, and no one was truly prepared for the magnitude of what was about to unfold. It all began one evening, following yet another emotionally charged argument between the couple. This time, Kirk realized he could no longer keep the truth hidden. As they discussed the pressures weighing on their marriage, the challenges of raising a family, maintaining their careers, and enduring constant public scrutiny, Rashida's frustration only deepened. Kirk knew he had no choice but to finally confront the situation head-on. "Rashida," Kirk began, his voice steady yet laced with regret. "I need to tell you something. It's about Jasmine." Rashida froze in place. Her heart skipped a beat as a flood of thoughts rushed through her mind. The name Jasmine had haunted her for years, a painful reminder of the woman who had once been involved with her husband and the mother of his child. She had heard the whispers, read the rumors online, but Kirk had always dismissed them, insisting it had been nothing more than a brief encounter. "I've been keeping something from you," Kirk admitted. "Jasmine has been blackmailing me." Rashida's eyes widened, her breath catching in her throat. Blackmail? This was not at all the conversation she had expected. She had braced herself for another argument about their troubled history, maybe even some kind of confession about an affair. But this was something else entirely. Something darker. Kirk hesitated, struggling to put his thoughts into words. "She's been demanding money from me, using the baby, using everything to manipulate me." His voice was heavy, as though he were speaking more to himself than to Rashida. "I've been paying her off, but it's never enough. And now she's making more threats. I'm done." Rashida's mind spun. She had long suspected there was more to Kirk's past with Jasmine, but hearing him say it outright hit her like a punch to the gut. Had she been avoiding the truth all this time? Was Kirk's involvement with Jasmine more than just a single mistake? His confession lingered in the air, thick and suffocating, making it nearly impossible to think clearly. "I'm going to file a case against her," Kirk added, locking eyes with Rashida. "I need to put an end to this, and I need you to trust me." Rashida struggled to process the wave of emotions crashing over her: betrayal, anger, confusion. A deep, piercing hurt that cut through her like a jagged blade. How could Kirk have kept this from her for so long? And how could he possibly believe that filing a case would fix anything? The damage had already been done. The trust they had worked so hard to rebuild had crumbled in an instant. "I don't know if I can trust you, Kirk," Rashida said softly, her voice trembling with a mix of frustration and sorrow. "This isn't just about Jasmine anymore. It's about us. Everything you've done, everything you've kept from me. How do I even know this is the truth?" Kirk lowered his head. He knew he had lost something invaluable, something that could never truly be replaced. He had already seen the pain in Rashida's eyes, and he understood that no matter what he said now, it wouldn't erase the hurt he had caused. "I'm sorry," he murmured. "I should have told you sooner, but I swear, I'm done with this. I'm ending it." But Rashida couldn't just let it go. Not yet. This revelation had ripped open an old wound, one that had been festering for years. She needed space, time to process everything, to think about what this meant for her, for their marriage, for their future. The days that followed were filled with silence, a silence that spoke louder than any shouting match ever could. Meanwhile, the public side of the drama was only just beginning. As Rashida wrestled with her emotions, the outside world was starting to catch wind of the chaos that had unfolded. But it wasn't just the blackmail that sent shockwaves, it was the disturbing text messages that had surfaced between Kirk and Jasmine. They were explicit, detailed, damning. In those messages, Kirk had offered Jasmine money in exchange for rekindling their physical relationship. The proposition was both degrading and desperate, exposing a side of Kirk that Rashida had never witnessed before. When the messages leaked online, they ignited a firestorm among fans and viewers. For many, this was the breaking point. Kirk wasn't just a man who had made a mistake. He was someone who had been playing a reckless game for years. A game that had nearly cost him his family. The backlash came swiftly, and the damage was irreversible. Rashida had long been seen as a symbol of resilience and strength, but even she couldn't deny the painful truth. The man she loved had betrayed her in the worst way possible. With legal action on the horizon, Kirk understood that the situation was far from resolved. Jasmine's threats weren't just emotional, they were real. And as much as he wanted to believe that filing a case would bring closure, a nagging feeling told him it was already too late. His past, his choices, and his failure to be honest with Rashida had all led to this moment. And then, there was Jasmine. Her demands were growing louder, more insistent. She refused to be pushed aside in this chaos, determined to get everything she could from Kirk, no matter the cost. She understood the power she held, and she wasn't about to let him walk away unscathed. The tension between them had reached a boiling point, and for the first time in years, Kirk had no choice but to face the wreckage he had created. The road to redemption would be long and uncertain. Would Rashida ever be able to forgive him? Could their marriage withstand the weight of such a deep betrayal? Or had they finally reached the breaking point, the end of the road for Kirk and Rashida, the once unshakable couple who had survived so many storms together? As the cameras rolled, capturing every raw moment of the fallout, one thing became undeniable. This wasn't just reality TV drama, this was real life. And for Kirk and Rashida, the consequences of their actions would unfold not only before millions of viewers, but also within their own hearts, forever altering the course of their lives. The truth had been exposed, but the battle for trust, love, and redemption was only just beginning.